Welcome to Game 4 of the Starcross Cup Championship. It is going to be Dusty and Honeynuts as double Soviets in the south on Moscow outskirts versus Vipix and Zark Cloud as Axis in the north. Just to give you some background, they had to swap their Game 2 factions for this game. And in Game 2, of course, Dusty and Honeynuts played as Axis on Liarneux, Zark Cloud, and Vipix for allies. So things are switched. 2 maps were vetoed, and then 1 map was picked from the remaining 3. And this matchup, this exact matchup, has already happened in between these two teams, and Zark Cloud and Vipix lost, so they're going to have to change up their strategy a little bit this game, do something a little bit different. In fact, we can already see that it's going to be different because of just the doctrine selections, but hopefully Zark Cloud and Vipix have learned something from Game 1 and are going to bring a slightly different strategy to the table this time. Conscripts moving up to grab the strategic point over here. More conscripts being sent to these strategic points over here, so conscripts from both of the allied players. Of course, Honeynuts is going to go into his Tier 2, as he always does, and Dusty going into his Tier 1, so no surprises from either of these players. They're going to continue to use their strategy, which has not failed them on this map yet, I don't think. I think every time they've played double Soviets on this map, they have succeeded. That I can think of. Conscripts closing into close range against these Volksgrenadiers, and their greater numbers are going to win this engagement for them, I think. Kubelwagen is moving up though, and combined with an MG42, they will be forced to retreat. Meanwhile, here on the left, some combat engineers also being forced away by Sturmpyos. Maxim moves up here towards the munitions point and does suppress those Volksgrenadiers, but it looks like they're going to be able to get clear of the arc and continue capturing the point. Or no, he's not even going to try and capture the point, he's just trying to get to safety. Meanwhile, a mortar has been produced by Zark Cloud and it's going to move up to do what it can. Meanwhile, over here on the right, Dusty is doing what he can against the Pioneers in this house with his penals in this green cover position. But unfortunately, the Kubelwagen has suppressed them. The Pioneers are going to force a retreat. It looks like he's trying to hold out for his scout car to arrive, but it's just not getting there in time. And he was forced away. The scout car is going to have to do what it can with conscripts inside instead. And the Kubelwagen, having seen that, is probably going to pull away to safety.
Volksgrenadier are on the line.
Stern Pioneers grabbing the victory point here on the right. Combat Engineers grabbing this victory point on the left. Combat Engineers grabbing the victory point on the right. Grenadiers with Kubel support grabbing the victory point in the center. Dusty moving up the right side with his scout car, probably going to be using it to deter the Kubelwagen. He does have conscripts moving up here, and he has encountered his opponent's battle group headquarters in the exact same position as before, so they don't intend on changing that aspect of their strategy this game. Pretty big blob over here on the left, making its way up towards the fuel point. It looks like some sneaky Stern Pioneers are hiding behind the tree line, though. He's going to try and use those to harass later on after these forces have moved on, I suspect. Meanwhile, here on the right side, the Kubelwagen has chased away some stuff. The scout car sustained a Faust. It looks like it might sustain another one here. It's still on cooldown, though, and the flamethrower is doing very nice damage to that Grenadier squad. He could lose that if he doesn't retreat. What is he doing? There he goes. Fortunately, the flamethrower squad is suppressed and will be forced to retreat. That Grenadier squad is going hard on that scout car. He really wants to finish it off. It looks like he could close the distance. Dusty was a little bit lax in retreating that thing. He needs to keep moving, but as he rounds this corner, the Grenadiers will close into range. They don't get suppressed. Faust firing, and there goes the scout car. Zark Cloud does manage to finish it off, just barely. For some time there, I was just kind of sitting AFK. Dusty was a little bit slow to reverse it to safety. And he got punished for it. Meanwhile, this Maxim is firing on this mortar. gets a pretty nice shot off there, but it will be forced to retreat by this nice flank by Honeynut's forces. All of Zarkcloud's forces here on the left side being forced away, but that being said, the right side has completely fallen. Axis making a hard push for the right side cutoff, denying the Allies what resources they can, maintaining quite good control of the munitions, although the left side munitions is about to fall.
Engineers ready for assignment.
Penal Battalion gets forced away. Looks like the Allies are struggling to retake the right side here. Dusty has managed to retake the strategic point at least. He's moving his penal battalion up as well. There is a machine gun here, but its arc is a little awkward. If Dusty notices it, he might be able to oorah outside the arc of fire. He did not notice it though. Meanwhile, he has some engineers grabbing some territory up here, actually getting a little free vet against the mechanized regiment headquarters. Not much. Didn't actually really damage it very much. The Kuba wagon is forcing those combat engineers to make a hasty retreat as well. Meanwhile, the conscripts did retreat, but the penal battalion looked like they're walking right back into the same arc of fire of that machine gun there. Fortunately for him, the fog of war is protecting him, and he will be able to get clear. Meanwhile, shock troops pulling off a flank over here. And the machine gun is going to be forced to retreat. He doesn't think he can reposition in time to suppress them. Maxim moving up to apply pressure here on the left. Honeynut's making great progress on his side of the map. Zarkcloud really struggling to keep him back. Combat engineers doing what they can in the center victory point. Kuba wagon struggling to keep him suppressed and is being repositioned to deal with these shock troops. We also have penal battalions taking control of the right side fuel, while some Volksgrenadiers and Pioneers build some defenses and take control of the right side victory point. Conscripts are going to get forced away by mortar fire here on the left side, and Zarkcloud has produced his famous half-track that he likes to use to reinforce in the field. Mortar fire falling on these penal battalions. It looks like this is a perfectly executed push on this battle group headquarters. Zarkcloud's too preoccupied over on the left side, and we could see a devastating satchel charge or something happening over here. Maybe not, actually. It looks like Dusty is not going to be pushing the battle group headquarters directly and is instead moving to the left to support his teammate. Oorah and conscripts moving in on that machine gun, but unfortunately they couldn't quite get clear. Not a great grenade, only wipes 2 conscript models. Penal battalions forcing the Sturmoffizier out of the building. Meanwhile, this machine gun's arc of fire is a little awkward. It can't quite fire on any of this stuff over here. Shock troops are moving up to deal devastating damage. Grenade going out in this clump. Oh, nice dodge, though. Very nice dodge. That could have been devastating, but it wasn't. And that allied push had potential, but unfortunately it just got shut down. Meanwhile, over here, not really anything too spectacular happening. Of course, in the midst of all this, Allied map control is better than it's ever been, taking control even of the strategic point upon which the battle group headquarters rests. And at the very least, there are some Volksgrenadiers moving across here, the right side, going to get control of that fuel once more. Hopefully, the Axis are going to need to do something to get these combat engineers away from the battle group headquarters. 90 munitions being thrown down to throw a demo charge right there. I don't think he intends on detonating that. He's just going to leave it there to make it kind of an annoying thing that the Axis players now have to play around, knowing there's a demo charge right next to their battle group headquarters, assuming they saw it get planted, which they probably did. Huh. He just detonated it. Decided not to leave it there. Maybe he didn't want it to get defused while he wasn't paying any attention. Was just going to satisfy himself with the damage on the battle group headquarters itself. There is a minesweeper right here, so they were going to sweep it up very soon, given the opportunity.
Target secure.
Zarkcloud's half-tracking Grenadier blob is moving across the center now. Axis need to make a good push for map control to be able to bring in some of their stronger units. But Honeynuts has quite a heavy force, setting up some kind of push here from the left side. just is charging in hard through the center, but it's not going very well for him. Charging straight into that half-track and machine guns in the defensive line. This is going to be tough to crack. Finding that's making his push around the north flank. He does spot that infantry support gun, but rather than clear it, he's just going to pull in. He's just going to charge straight down through the north here. He is going to catch this machine gun pretty out of position. This one is blocked by the fence, and he's going to get into some nice cover, but those Sturm Pioneers are doing a lot of damage to those conscripts on their approach. Almost losing that squad entirely. The shock troops are moving straight in towards the machine gun, so it's going to be forced to retreat. Flamethrower bursts going out on those Sturm Pioneers as well, doing what they can. Meanwhile, here on the left, some conscripts are preventing these Pioneers, or trying to prevent these Pioneers from capping, but in their green cover position, they may actually be able to capture this without getting taken out. So that's a nice play there. Conscripts grabbing the strategic point over here. Nice play by Dusty, harassing the right side. Looks like those Volksgrenadiers are only just barely making it away alive. Mortar fire also up to 3 kills. Is not actually that much, but it is Vet 1, so it must have been doing nice damage even if not inflicting that many model losses. Sturm Pioneers repairing even under fire. Not sure what that Sturm officer was thinking there. That's dangerous. Must be careful about repairing under fire there. Kugel wagon will suppress the shock troops, however, and that half-track is going to get to safety, no problem. Grenade going off on the Kugel wagon, but it's not really injured enough to make that a worthwhile expenditure, I don't think. Infantry support gun also firing. Sturm Pioneers taking a lot of bleed, a lot of model losses. Oh, he's trying to follow up his shock trooper's grenade with a conscript grenade, but the Kugel wagon is just too fast. I see what he was trying to do there, but it didn't pay off. That Kugel wagon can prove to be really annoying against a shock troop heavy strategy. Oh, look at this flank by this T-34. Oh, it's shot against the Kugel wagon, misses. Shock troops moving up. The machine gun still hasn't repositioned. He's being so slow to do that. Grenade going out on the mortar. Ooh, doesn't quite wipe it though. Weren't clumped enough. T-34 staying here in the back and laying fire on the battle group headquarters. If it doesn't get pushed away soon, that battle group headquarters will get taken down. It's just going to be a matter of time. It looks like Grenadiers are being mobilized across towards the center to get a Panzerfaust shot off. T-34 continues to fire. A Panzer Schreck is also being mobilized to push the T-34 away. T-34 switches targets to the Panzer Schreck squad. Look at the size of this blob. Honeynuts does have his Tier 4 built, and his Katyusha is almost complete, and he's going to be able to punish this so hard. Once that hits the field, of course, this is going to drastically change the way that Zarkcloud and Vipix move their infantry forces. Looks like that building got taken down by a bundled grenade. Conscripts inside, or no, there was a flamethrower engineer squad trying to get inside. They did not manage to get inside before the building was collapsed, so it's this bug where they lose their icon there over the top of their head. You can fix that bug, by the way, if you get inside of a building and then leave the building again. Katyusha barrage firing. Not too bad, actually. That was not that bad. The infantry perfectly split in separate directions to get clear of the blast zone. That was like a perfectly executed dodge of that Katyusha barrage. That wasn't that bad at all. Maxim firing, or repositioning to get in range of these Grenadiers. Of course, now the Katyusha barrages have begun. Vivix and Zarkcloud have to be very careful and hopefully field some kind of solution to actually deal with that. Dusty doing what he can with this T-34 here. We will note that he has not rushed an ISU 152 this game. He's bridging the gap with the T-34, which I think he did last game as well. I can't remember if it was his T-34 or Honeynuts. There was a T-34 though. Shock troops getting cut down as they try and pull forward. Nice grenade. Oh, wow, that was a nice grenade. That inflicted 6 Grenadier model losses and destroyed a Kugel wagon. No full squad wipes though, other than the Kugel wagon going down. Still, I would say just taking out the Kugel wagon alone is a win. That thing is so annoying to deal with, and at Vet 2 it also offers that detection ability, so good to get that off the field. Maxim firing on these Pioneers over here. They are suppressed, but unfortunately he's getting counter-suppressed by that machine gun there, so he's not really able to do too much. He is taking control of the cutoff over here, though, trying to flank the machine gun, but its arc is set up in a nice way to counter that Oorah. And the Grenadiers have all been fully reinforced and are doing what they can. Still, Axis map control is not great. They need to continue to bleed their opponents on these pushes to be able to come back later. It's going to be tough, but they're off to a pretty good start. Puma hitting the field from Vipix as well, which is definitely a good move. He needs to utilize that to take out the Katyusha at his earliest possible opportunity, though. There is a T-34 on the field, which he needs to be wary of, but for example, right now would be a perfect time for him to charge that. Of course, he doesn't have the information that I have, being able to see through the fog of war, so he does need to be careful, knowing that there's a T-34 right there. The Puma can spot for itself, unlike the T-34, so he's trying to take shots at it from maximum range here, doing quite nicely. Meanwhile, on the left, it looks like Zarcloud is making a hard push for the left side, taking out at least one Maxim, but we do now have an incendiary artillery being launched on those Panzer Grenadiers, and they will be forced to retreat. And look at him actually utilizing the half-track as a transport unit. He's going to go in hard on that Maxim and conscripts. An AT grenade is going off. There's just not really anything in this area to protect him. The Maxim is actually utilizing sprint to get to a safer position, though. Very nice use of sprint. But more Grenadiers are moving up from another flank, and despite Honeynuts making his best effort, he's just not able to win that. I don't know if that Maxim's going to make it away either, retreating across an open road. It will keep retreating. The retreat bug's been fixed. That's good. Katyusha barrage firing. Oh, it was aimed all the way over here, but Zarcloud just instinctively immediately retreated. Didn't want to take the risk, and he's now going to have to pull that half-track well away from the left side with more shock troops moving up. We do have a pack over here on the left. It's a little bit unsupported, though. It's taking shots at that T-34. It's gotten a lot of nice damage off on it, but there's not much protecting it. There are shock troops here running straight for it. They do get suppressed. Boomerang conscripts moving around the other side. Smoke grenade also going off. That machine gun's going to have to retreat, I think. Yep, there it goes. We do have a nicely sized blob from Vipix moving up to counter, though. The half-track still needs repairs. It's pulling back to base. Shock troops continuing to harass territory. Here on the right side, the right side victory point is also about to fall to these penal battalions, so the pressure is being kept high by the Allies. Very high. Volks Grenadiers retreating through that incendiary barrage. Ouch. 2 model losses on both of the squads, but they will make it clear just barely. Panzer Grenadiers fighting off some flamethrowers here in the middle. The T-34 has made its way back up to take shots on the battle group headquarters as well. Puma trying to punish it, but all of its shots are bouncing. It's doing a nice job of see how it keeps on darting in and out of that T-34's vision range to try and inflict as much damage as possible without receiving any damage, but all of the shots are bouncing. There's a penetrating shot. It does have access to aimed shot. The T-34 is now actually going to hit Vet 2. Puma has to pull away from those conscripts before they throw an anti-tank grenade. Not much damage has been inflicted on the battle group headquarters itself. Nice suppression going out on those Grenadiers, though, from a stolen MG42, and the Katyusha barrage inflicts a lot of model losses on the retreating blob. Ooh, what is that machine gun doing? Fortunately, it does survive the Katyusha barrage and is setting up now. We also have harassment continuing on the right side. Pioneers grabbing the fuel point. Penal battalions have taken the victory point, though. Things are looking really grim for the Axis. They need to do something to break out of this situation. They keep blobbing. That Katyusha is just going to punish them so hard every time it fires. It's already up to 16 kills. Things are only going to get worse. Dusty just called in bomb strike right here. Did they even notice? Oh my goodness. I don't think they saw the red smoke, and the half-track just got obliterated. Machine gun went down, and the battle group headquarters is like one shot away from being destroyed. And Dusty will very soon have the resources to call in his ISU-152. The Axis are going to need to pull off some miraculous plays with that Puma to stand any chance here. Puma trying to dance around and do what it can here in the middle. Those Panzer Fusiliers got pinned. Grenade going out. Oh! Wipes the Volksgrenadier squad and deals massive damage to the Panzer Fusiliers as well. Perfectly placed grenade, and this T-34 is going to find an opening to go in on that battle group headquarters. More Puma shots bouncing off of its frontal armor. There it goes. Puma shot misses. Vipix is microing that Puma furiously, but he's really having trouble getting lucky shots on that T-34. There it goes. Katyusha barrage firing here. Panzer Fusilier squad gets wiped by that Katyusha rocket. Oh, those team weapons also taking a nasty beating. Puma needs repairs. ISU-152 is on the field to supplement that T-34's firepower. Really, it's the T-34 that's going to be supplementing the ISU's firepower. It looks like Zarcloud is going to harass the left side here. Panzer Grenadiers moving up, but the stolen MG-42 immediately suppresses them. Lots of infantry available to screen. Grenadier blob moving across the left side here. They are going to catch those machine guns, not really in a great position. ISU-152 firing on those pioneers. They're trying to crew the pack, but they're going to take massive damage. Shocks immediately destroyed. Shocks being forced to reposition. The Puma is now Vet 2. Vipix has 147 fuel. I'm not sure what his plan is. He's not even close to being able to afford a Yag Tiger, unfortunately, because their fuel control just hasn't been good enough this game.
Take cover!
Whoa. That was a Stuka bombing strike. Just landed in this area. Looks like it took out a field gun. For Zarcloud's part, he's still 15 fuel away from being able to afford the Elephant, and it looks like he is going to be saving up for that. They quite desperately need some heavy anti-tank with long range to fight the ISU. Sitting pretty right here. It's got 4 kills already. Grenades and satchel charges going off, and the mechanized regiment headquarters actually just got destroyed by that penal battalion. So no more free repairs or fuel transfer for Vipix. It is not looking good for the Axis. And they're running out of time to make something happen. 165 points remaining.
Taking panzer fire! Pioneer Cooper is ready for action. Get to march! Protect them under attack!
Incendiary barrage going off. IS-2 going in hard. ISU-152 taking shots at that blob from behind. Puma moving up to try and take shots on the T-34. It's so wounded. Oh no, Katyusha barrage firing. ISU also firing. Everything getting cut to shreds because they're so grouped up in this death zone. Panzer Grenadiers go down. Sturmoffizier goes down. But the Elephant is on the field. This is really the Axis' last hope. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be enough. Not after the losses that they've just sustained. They have to try. 3 squads of Panzer Fusiliers moving up. I think these are all fresh squads. 2 kills, 0 kills, 0 kills. These are all fresh squads of Panzer Fusiliers being mobilized pretty much as an emergency measure. Doesn't have much choice. I guess it's better than Volksgrenadiers. Not by much though. Grenadiers focusing down that machine gun at range. Their LMGs will be taken down. Katyusha barrage is firing though. Oh, there goes one squad. The rest will retreat. Puma is up to Vet 2. He's trying to utilize it as effectively as he can, but it's not easy. The Elephant is making its way forward slowly. ISU shot does not connect with the Puma. Still takes pretty heavy AoE damage though. I think one more shot could destroy it outright if he doesn't get clear of its arc. He does manage to recover that pack. Elephant slowly pushing forward. I think that the Axis are not sure what to do here though. 60 points remain.
Enemy squad attacking.
And if they don't make a miraculous push for one of the VPs soon, it's gonna be GG.
They are killing us. Prepare for orders. Consolidate our forces. We are down to 50 points.
50 points.
Taking fire.
Katyusha firing. Mortar also firing, everything being forced to retreat once again. The Allies continuing to just stall for time, only 30 points remaining. No sign of the Axis making a successful push for any of these VPs anytime soon.
We are now down to 25 points.
I'm not even sure if it's possible for the Axis to win anymore.
The squad is back to full strength.
21, 18.
Heavy panzer, ready for orders.
9 points remaining.
With 10 points remaining.
And there's just no time, and that's going to wrap up the game, which means that Dusty and Honey Nuts are the Star-Crossed Cup champions. They are going to win $200 each thanks to the generosity of my donators, and of course they are also going to win a free copy of Ardennes Assault. So congratulations to our NA champions. They will win the tournament. And that's going to wrap up the Star-Crossed Cup. It's been a lot of fun hosting. It's been a really long tournament. I know there were lots of scheduling conflicts, but I had a lot of fun hosting. I hope that everybody had fun watching. And congratulations once more to Honey Nuts and Dusty for winning it. You played very well. I hope everybody enjoyed the tournament. Thank you again. That's going to conclude the stream. That's going to be everything. And now I'm just going to, I'm just going to figure out logistics of actually getting the prize to my winners. Thank you again. Thank you everyone so much for watching. 184 concurrent viewers might be the most I've ever had. Thank you, of course, for the followers. And thank you mostly, first and foremost, Kotu.org for all of the hard work that they've done to help me with this tournament and to sponsor me and to advertise me and everything that they've done. So thanks everybody for watching. That's going to conclude the stream. I really hope you enjoyed. And that's it.